Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to Yakim doing the work in truth and in sincerity. Now, basically, I done pulled up this article from The Guardian. As you can see, the title, The Right-Wing Groups Behind Wave of Protests Against COVID-19 Restrictions. Because there's protests around the U.S. about this stay-at-home order and the measures that they're doing for the COVID-19 hoax. So I'm going to read this article, or most of it, and I'm going to get a few scriptures. Basically to point at the times that we are in. Because we are in some serious times. And Lord willing, this leads to the end. Which, you know, this COVID-19 is supposed to lead to the vaccinations, and the vaccination is going to lead to the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, which any sane Israelite knows that microchip is the mark of the beast, you know. So, without further ado, the right-wing groups behind wave of protests against COVID-19 restrictions. Protests in Michigan and other states claim to speak for ordinary citizens, but are also supported by street-fighting far-right groups. Because on Wednesday, there was a protest in Lansing, Michigan, where, you know, and I've seen a few of the people that I work with go there, the protest in Lansing. So yeah, hey, these Edomites, yes, mainly Edomites, they are upset about the way this country is being ran. And they know that their constitutional rights are being trampled upon. And they know what's next. And as I read more of this article, the Edomites that's involved in it, you're gonna understand why they were there. You see the don't tread on me snake. You know that, hey, these Edomites are getting upset and worried. And it seems like the Edomites are going to start doing more destruction of this country than anybody. They're going to start their destruction first. But anyway, a wave of planned anti-lockdown demonstrations that have broken out around the country to protest the efforts of state governments to combat the corona pandemic with business closures and stay-at-home orders have included far-right groups as well as more mainstream Republicans. While protesters in Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and other states claim to speak for ordinary citizens, many are also supported by street-fighting right-wing groups like the Proud Boys, conservative armed militia groups, religious fundamentalists, anti-vaccination groups, and other elements of radical right. And it's not that they're radical, it's that they know what's coming next. And of course, they feel like their country is going down, which in truth, it is going down. The Lord is putting together this this chess move to take Edomites country down, man. And there's nothing you can do about it. Even today, I didn't watch the news, and yes, it's 8 in the morning. I didn't watch the news, and Trump is talking about measures to lift the stay-at-home order gradually, and basically to get the country reopened. Now, me personally, I speak as a man. I don't think that's going to happen. They've been postponing this stay-at-home order for the last month and a half, 2 months, and I believe that they're probably going to do it again. You know, they're going to keep postponing it, and people are going to keep getting upset and hoping that it's going to stop in 2 weeks, and they're going to keep postponing it by another month. Because by my own opinion, hey, they're not opening this country back up. You know, why waste all this hard work that they've done to open the country back up, knowing they're going to have to restart it, but then people are not going to accept it. On Wednesday in Lansing, Michigan, a protest put together by two Republican-connected not-for-profits was explicitly devised to cause gridlock in the city, and for a time blocked the entrance to a local hospital. In all honesty, these hospitals are not full. They're empty. They are straight up empty. One of the brothers in the camp was jogging by a track across from the hospital. Wasn't no activity going on. And then when one of the workers come out and he was asked basically what was going on in the hospital right now, he's like, "Oh, a lot of people dying. No cars there, nobody parked, and no sign of life except for the workers, but a lot of people dying." And the brother was like, "Hey, I don't believe that," and the worker couldn't say nothing against it because it's just not true. There are several people, including brothers, including the elder apostles, that went through these hospitals, went to the hospitals, went through the hospitals, and filmed what was going on in these hospitals. And I'm talking about the main hospitals in your local areas, and put together a video on there's no action in these hospitals. In other words, they're actually setting up for action in these hospitals, because what's going to start killing people is going to be these vaccinations. And if the vaccination don't kill you, then that's just an opportunity for them to give you the microchip. If the vaccination do kill you, what they're going to say, "Oh, COVID-19 did it. Oh, and it was all the fault of you protesters." I mean, hey, that's the government at work. But anyway, it was organized by Michigan Conservative Coalition, which Michigan State Corporate Filing Show has also operated under the name of Michigan Trump Republicans. It was also heavily promoted by Michigan Freedom Fund, a group linked with Trump cabinet member Betsy DeVos. But the protests also attracted far-right protest groups who have been presented at pro-Trump and gun rights rallies in Michigan throughout the Trump presidency. Placards identified Michigan Proud Boys as participants in the vehicle convoy near the State House. Local radio interviewed a man who identified himself as Phil Odinson. In fact, the man was Phil Robinson, the prime mover in a group called the Michigan Liberty Militia, whose Facebook page features pictures of firearms, warnings of civil war, celebrations of North paganism, and memes ultimately sourced from white nationalist groups like Patriot Front. The pattern of right-wing not-for-profits promoting public protest, while still more radical groups use lockdown resistance as a platform for extreme right-wing causes, looks set to continue the events advertised in the states over coming days. In other words, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop until the country is opened again. And hey, this country, Lord willing, how about Shemi Hawashai, about Shemakar Ratazah, it don't open again. And it leads to this mark of the beast. That's what we're hoping. Because we know when these prophecies come to pass, then the end will come. In Idaho on Friday, protesters plan to gather at the Capitol building in Boise to protest antivirus restrictions put in place by the Republican Governor Brad Little. The protest has been heavily promoted by Idaho Freedom Foundation, IFF, which counts among its donors dark money funds linked to the Koch brothers, such as Donors Capital Funds and Castle Rock, a foundation seeded with part of the fortune of Adolf Coors, the right-wing beer magnate. And that's enough. You can read the rest if you'd like. But basically, over the coming days, they got more protests coming. And when I was watching the news this morning, they were also talking about, other than Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, other states like Texas, they're basically got protests everywhere, man. And who's protesting? Esau is protesting. You don't really see a whole lot of Jake's protesting because Jake seems to think that this is going to go back to normal. Hey, this ain't going to go back to normal, man. Not after all of this. This is the new normal. And I got a few scriptures. We all know the scriptures that I'm going to bring out. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What did the White Ring group say? They said that warnings of civil war. That's coming. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Another thing in this article, what did they say? The stay-at-home resistance. They're not regarding their king or their princes. In Michigan, it's a female governor, so I guess it would be princess, but still, they're not regarding them. They're resisting. Matter of fact, a protest is a resistance. A man shall desire to go into a city and not be able. That's the stay-at-home order. For because their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is what's coming, man. This is all coming real soon to America. And other than protests over here, there's protests actually around the globe. In the UK, they haven't stopped protesting. They started protesting before America did. As far as what's going on, as far as staying at home and all the business being closed. They started protesting before the Americans started protesting. And you know what this is going to lead to. It's just straight up destruction. And I got one more scripture I want to read. Let me start at Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. This is a prophecy that's coming. The inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. That's going to happen after World War III, when they shoot missiles over here into different places around the globe and burn this place up. That's a prophecy. The new wine mourneth, the vine languish, all the merry-hearted do sigh. And this prophecy is coming to pass as we speak. Well, it's happening as we speak, I should say. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. What's the city of confusion? America, which is the daughter of Babylon. This is the city of confusion, man. And it's broken down. Why? Because of all these reasons. The new wine mourneth, the vine language, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Why? Because everything is closed. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song. Are people drinking wine with a song? No. All the clubs and all the bars are closed. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. What people go out and buy some liquor and go home and drink it alone in their lonely homes. And they don't got no jobs and no money. The city of confusion, the daughter of Babylon, aka America, is broken down. Every house is shut up, stay-at-home order, that no man may come in. There is crying for wine in the streets. They want this America to reopen. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And that's why they're protesting. And it's only going to get worse for America from here. And Lord willing, he does it quickly. As it is written, he comes quickly. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, salutations to you Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity. See you in the next video. Shalom.